Was Jesus vegetarian? Did he eat meat? Was he a raw vegan? In this video, we're going to take a closer look at some of my personal experiences on living foods, as well as analyzing some ancient texts from the Dead Sea Scrolls, the Gospel of the Hebrews, all the way to the King James Version of the Bible. So stay tuned, and I hope you learned something. So it wouldn't be right if I didn't start off with my own personal experience, 60 days fruit juice fast that I learned from John Rose on YouTube. That was a completely transformational experience. I went from slowly descending into hell to realizing how to get myself out, and walking that path for the 60 days really woke me up spiritually. It changed the whole trajectory of my life. Still been pursuing the goals that were shown to me during that fast. It's a lifelong journey. I love it and I appreciate it. So thank you, John Rose, for showing me that fast. But most importantly, for helping me get reconnected. Now, let's look at some interesting things I've come across during my research. Probably the most interesting thing that I found from the Dead Sea Scrolls, where Jesus is telling people how to live. So the passage begins, and this is in the Essene Gospel of Peace, Book 1. It's right at the very beginning. It says, "And then many sick and maimed came to Jesus, asking him, 'If you know all things, tell us, why do we suffer from these grievous plagues? Why are we not whole like other men? Master, heal us, that we too may be made strong, and need abide no longer in our misery. We know that you have it in your power to heal all manner of disease. Free us from Satan and from all his great afflictions. Master, have compassion on us.'" So Jesus answers, "Happy are you that you hunger for the truth, for I will satisfy you with the bread of wisdom. Happy are you that you knock, for I will open to you the door of life." Okay, listen to this. This is what Jesus is saying. God commanded your forefathers, "Thou shalt not kill," but their hearts were hardened, and they killed. Then Moses desired that at least they should not kill men, and he suffered them to kill beasts. So right here, Jesus is basically saying, you're not supposed to kill anything, guys. God didn't want y'all to kill nothing, and y'all did it anyway. And to try to get you guys to stop killing each other, Moses basically said, all right, just kill animals. Don't kill each other anymore. And mankind, what did we do? And then the heart of your forefathers was hardened yet even more, and they killed men and beasts likewise. Yeah, we killed both men and animals. But I do say to you, kill neither men nor beasts, nor yet the food which goes into your mouth. Now that's all I'm going to read out of the Essene Gospel of Peace. Please go check it out for yourself. It's a really good read. Give it a Google search. You'll find it. Hope you enjoy. Now the reason this has so much significance to me is because I read this when I was on my day 50 of my juice fast. The juices are considered a living food, so I was drinking only living foods 50 days, coming from an all processed, dead, cooked junk food lifestyle. There is power in the living foods. That's the whole reason I started this channel. That's the whole reason I'm making this video. Now you may be thinking, oh, I've never read the Essene Gospel. It's probably not even a real book from the Bible. Who knows if it's actually from the Dead Sea Scrolls? It may not be a real account of Jesus. Bless you for being skeptical, but stick with me here. Next up, we're going to check out the Gospel of the Hebrews, otherwise known as the Gospel of the Ebionites. So one of the verses from this book says this: "I came to destroy the sacrifices. If ye cease not from sacrificing, the wrath of God not cease from you." So if this used to be in the Bible, and this used to be relatively common knowledge, or at least was taught back in the day, what happened to this knowledge and why is it lost? In order to understand that, let's take a listen to James Tabor and see what his thoughts are on this situation.
Ebionites, for sure, the Jewish fathers of Jesus, they speak against sacrifice all the time. And they say that's why God destroyed the temple, because God never wanted sacrifice. So back to Jeremiah. "In the day I led you out of Egypt, I never commanded you to do sacrifice." But they want to do sacrifice. Why? It's like going to the Greek festival. It's like any kind of jamboree party. It's like Greco-Roman Apollo, on Apollo's birthday, you're going to have barbecues and people dancing and drinking. And this is irresistible to a culture. And so the Baal worshipers and the Canaanite worshipers, they're having great stuff at their temple. what are you supposed to do? Just go in this little tent somewhere and just pray to God? You know, it's not very appealing. You need to have like a huge banquet or something like that.
My goodness. It paints such a good picture. It's even like when you're growing up and everyone's going to parties and stuff. It's like you feel left out when you're not going to do those things, even though you know you shouldn't be doing those things. That's how easy it is to lose a sacred thing. Literally your life. It's how easy it is to fall from grace. All right, so we looked at the Dead Sea Scrolls. We looked at the Edomite text. Gospel of the Hebrews. Now let's look at the King James Version of the Bible and see what it says. The first verse I want to read is one that's well known by most Christians around the world. It is the verse that reads, I desire mercy and not sacrifice. But let's take a look at Hosea and let's read this verse and what comes shortly thereafter. It says, For I desire steadfast love and not sacrifice, the knowledge of God rather than burnt offerings. So it's very clear that sacrifices is not what God wants. And Jesus came to basically tell everybody that so we can get out of hell. I can say that because I experienced being in hell and then coming out of hell by adopting the one law that Jesus speaks about that was eventually fractionalized into hundreds of laws because we couldn't obey it. The one law is just do not kill. Do not kill man, do not kill beast, do not kill the food that you put in your body. And all that means is eat raw living foods. So it's very plain in all of these examples that Jesus is telling us to not sacrifice things, to not kill things, to not kill our food, to not cook our food, but also that doing so will result in judgment or wrath from God or our bodies being killed. Now, the bottom line here is whether Jesus was a strict raw vegan or a vegetarian, or if he ate meat or didn't eat meat, he knew the laws of life, and he knew that eating dead things would lead to death, and he knew that eating living things would lead to life. So regardless of whether he strayed, I think it's pretty safe to say that he would have stuck and probably did stick to a mostly living foods diet. And the evidence of this is even seen in the modern day King James Bible. So remember to eat more fruits and vegetables. Peace, y'all. Thanks for watching the video. If anybody feels that they need to get reconnected, go check out John Rose's channel. I'll link it in the description below. And yeah, we'll see you in the next one.